everyone, it's Sami from Sami's Sweet Life, and today is a bit of a duh or tough love video, depending on where you fall on the spectrum of being able to wake yourself up. We have had a dramatic shift in our household about this waking up thing. I have been a late sleeper just like Olivia. As soon as Olivia gets up in the morning, I start to get ready because she takes a few minutes to fully wake up, and she will kind of get out of bed, grab a book here and there. And so I know from the time I first hear her moving around, I've got a little bit of time to get myself ready, but it ends up being me dragging myself out of bed and getting her up and kind of muddling through the morning. When she started her new school, we have to get up early and be there on time every weekday, so 5 days a week. When we started her on the new school, I decided to make a concerted effort to wake up before her and get myself ready for the day. For the first few weeks, I had my alarm set at 7:20, and I realized if I got myself ready and I had a few minutes before getting her up, I had a much calmer morning. I had a few extra minutes to just be present and wake up a little bit more. And because I found myself cherishing those few morning minutes, I ended up deciding to add 20 minutes to that and wake myself up at 7 o'clock. And so that gave me about 20 extra minutes to just enjoy the peace and quiet before the day started, before we had to get ready for school and go through the morning routine. And so that's what I've been doing. It's not a super early morning, but it's early for us. Her old school didn't have as strict of a time schedule. They just had to be there by a certain time, and we always were there in plenty of time for that. But with this new school, she has set hours of school early in the morning, and we've got to be there. And that's really changed things. I found myself really looking forward to those morning hours to just sit there, drink some water, edit if I want to edit, or do some reading if I want to read. Sometimes I'll sit there with my journal and write, and it's been really nice to just have those minutes. So going along with that, I ended up reading the 5-second rule recently. I really like Rachel Whalen's channel. She's also in Austin, so I really like watching her channel. She's recommended some Austin things here and there. She started a little book club, and the first book we read was the 5-second rule. I like to listen to audiobooks, and this is one that they didn't have as an audiobook in my digital library app that I'm using. Through my local library, they just had the written book, and so I started reading it, and I found it kind of boring in the beginning, and I never picked it up again. And so when she recommended it for this book club, I was like, okay, I'll give it an honest try. We are doing a no spend year, but specifically a no spend January, so there's zero extra in the budget. And I ended up finding it on YouTube as an audiobook, and it's like 8 hours long. I do listen to things in 2 times speed, and you can do that on YouTube. You can speed things up to 2 times speed. And I listened to the book. I was hooked. It was actually Mel Robbins' voice. I really like Mel Robbins' voice, so it was great that she read the book. And I ended up listening to the whole thing. I had some scrapbook sessions and ended up getting through the whole book pretty quickly. And the reason I'm mentioning it in this video is because one of her things is to wake up early. So I'm titling this the life-changing magic of getting the bleep out of bed, because it has been for me. I don't wake up super duper early. I don't have hours and hours of time in the beginning of the day, but I found that that almost hour that I do have is so productive. It gets my day started off on the right foot. And I feel just so much more calm and present going through that morning chaos. And it is really hard to motivate yourself to get out of bed early. It took us having preschool 5 days a week for me to really dedicate myself to waking up early. And of course you can use the Mel Robbins 5-second rule to force yourself out of bed. The main thing is just don't hit the snooze button and get yourself out of bed. Whatever it takes, if you need to set your alarm in another room or away from your bed in your own room to try to get yourself out of bed, that's the biggest hurdle in this, is actually waking up. So I really encourage you to try it out if you're one of those people that wakes up at the very absolute last second that you could possibly wake up, or if you're having frantic, chaotic mornings. I definitely recommend setting your alarm just 10 minutes earlier or 20 minutes earlier and not hitting the snooze buttons, just getting out of bed and seeing what happens. For me, I did this a little bit before the book, but the book helped me see, yes, this is why I'm enjoying these minutes so much, and it's really helped me see the benefits of it. Whereas before I was just like, oh, I really like these minutes. I wasn't super conscious of the benefit part of it. I just knew that those days seemed to go really nicely. Now I know that this is a thing. I know there are a lot of people that push wake up at 5 a.m. and it's such a big thing now. That's the ideal time to wake up, 5 a.m. And when I see those kind of videos talking about waking up early and they're saying wake up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., I just check out. I cannot relate to that at all. It doesn't sound motivating. It does not sound like something I would even want to try, but I'm just saying set your alarm a little bit earlier. I set my alarm just 20 minutes earlier, and it made a big difference having 20 extra minutes to just do whatever. When Olivia was a newborn, I was totally sleeping on her schedule, waking up when she woke up, and that totally works for that age. But when she's older like this, I could totally wake up before her. She wakes up about the same time, even on the weekend. I know that I can set the alarm and get a few more extra minutes to myself those mornings to fully wake up and kind of embrace the day. I feel like if you're somebody like me who really likes their sleep in the morning and you don't really want to follow the alarm, this might be a tricky thing to do. So I definitely encourage you to use the 5-second rule, put your phone in a different room or whatever you have to do to actually get the bleep out of bed. I really encourage you to try this out and see if you can get some benefits from it. You don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., but just 20 minutes. See what happens. It might change the whole mood of your morning and maybe even the whole mood of your day. It really has for me. So I hope you'll give this a try. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will link to the Mel Robbins book down below. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.